Hello guys, today I'll do my own creepypasta of the Billy Surprise Toys Johnny Yes Papa record. It's my own creepypasta, so if anybody tries to remake it, please notify me and I will report them for copyright, okay? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. So it's one typical day in the Smith house. Johnny was just doing his typical thing, playing with his friend Chia and Franco. Also, usually Dolly was playing by herself. Usually Chia was asking Papa if he could go to the ball pit with his friend Franco and Johnny. Papa said yes. Then usually they went in, had some fun, and then Dolly asked him. Usually he also said yes, so all of them went in and had some fun. Then the ice cream man asked too. Usually Papa said yes also. But don't worry guys, there is a point where he'll say no. Then usually the refrigerator asks if Papa needs anything. Usually, Papa says that he's a little bit thirsty, so the fridge makes him a glass of orange juice. He drinks the orange juice, and then falls into a deep sleep. Usually, there was no reason why. Usually, Mommy comes into the room where the kids are playing. Then, she asks if they're having fun and if they want anything else. Usually, the ice cream man asks, "Can we get some big swings, like round ones, with like 4 ropes around it?" Mommy said, "Sure, we can afford that." So usually with her beautiful car, she drove to the area, bought it, and when she came back, everyone was just standing there, just kind of doing something. Then Johnny walks into his room, into the closet. Then once he went to the closet, usually he saw something. It looked like a console, like a PS4 console. As Johnny, with his strength, he pulled it out, started it up, and then he decided to play quick little game on it. There's no games, but there's no account either. So usually with asking Papa after he woke up from his great orange juice nap, usually he made him account, got him Fortnite, and he decided to play. Usually there was also more. Usually Papa set those up for usually when they were older. Usually he bought the pre-ordered version. It had the greatest graphics ever. It was even better than Ninja's computer. Usually then Chia, Franco, and Johnny and Dolly went to a game of Fortnite on squads. Usually they were all defaults, so usually they were getting bullied a lot. But usually somehow Franco wasn't able to get past because he shut it off by accident. Usually had to start it up and do everything, so he could join the party. So usually as someone substituting for him, for that teammate, usually you say that why they're default. And usually everyone said that it was their first game of Fortnite. Usually the person was really nice. Usually then they end up winning a game. Usually Johnny added him, and usually they had some great discussions. He gave everyone a skull trooper, and usually Dolly got female gingerbread skin. It's pretty legit. Usually got everyone cameras and usually a YouTube account. Yes. Then usually they start streaming. They got more kills than Ninja. They even went to the 30 kill game. Or should I say the whole server kill game. Usually then there was something strange tomorrow. Usually Papa found Johnny eating some sugar. Papa usually asked him what was going on. He said he was enjoying his hypeness, so he decided to get himself hyped with some raw sugar. Usually he gently and nice and lovely carried the jar of sugar out of Johnny's hands and put it on the counter. Usually then he gave him a cake out of the refrigerator. Usually Johnny hugged him by placing his plate on the floor and hugging him. Usually Papa felt really nice. He felt a good feeling in his heart. He felt that his son would be a great person in the future. Then one day at school, a new kid came. His name was Franklin Jones. Usually he didn't really talk. Usually he was shy. Usually Johnny asked him if he could sit. Usually in a quick nice little whisper, he said yes. Usually he sat with him and they became great friends. They even talked over the phone sometimes. And sometimes they got to hang out at home. Usually sometimes he would come to their home and sometimes Johnny would come to his new friend's house. Usually he also had a baby iguana. Usually this also would be a great tale, but this goes way deeper and sadder. Usually it's been 3 days, and usually Mommy still haven't came to get the thing. Maybe the store's far from today. It's been too long. Maybe we should investigate. As usually, he put Johnny, Papa, and everyone in the car. Usually he drove to there. Then he got a text from his wife. It said where she was, but something felt sketchy. She would probably text where she is right now after he has been texting to her many, many, many times, asking her where she is. Usually this goes pretty darker. Usually they go to the Walmart, and usually ask the manager if they haven't seen a woman in blonde hair and wearing a pink short sleeve shirt and blue pants and sandals. Usually the manager said no. This seems suspicious to Papa. Maybe she forgot something? Then she accidentally went somewhere else? No, it was something way suspiciouser. She was instead kidnapped. What happened, you asked? Well, something pretty dark. As usually they looked over the cameras of the outside of the Walmart. Usually they saw a man grabbing Mommy by the hand, usually putting them in their van, handcuffed. She didn't do anything wrong. Usually they leave off. Usually somehow they went to this little shack. This old shack. There's enough of a distance to show where it was. It was pretty close to the Walmart. Probably a good enough sight for everyone to see. So they went to the shack, saw Mommy tied up. Then usually they saw the kidnappers. Usually Johnny asked them why did they do this. It's because usually they said because women are great people. They'll serve us anything. They are our slaves. Usually Papa replied to them, they're not slaves. They're beauty. Usually then a quick little blush came from Mommy. Usually then everyone went into a whole Mortal Kombat style with the kidnappers. Usually Johnny and Papa went. Usually everyone went back into the van. Usually when they found out. Then usually they go home. Then there's something weird by tomorrow. The ice cream man isn't there. The only thing they found was a cone. a big cone the size of the body of the ice cream man. Usually, they were frightened, but then usually they saw a green-pink liquid. It tasted sweet, also with a strawberry. Usually they forgot to turn off the lights. Usually, since the ice cream man didn't know where the light switches were. Usually everyone screamed for help, calling 911 because the ice cream melted. So thank you guys for watching my creepypasta. Subscribe.